back to my channel. If you watched my last few videos, I think we can all agree, like, quarantine's been hard. It kind of sucks. Like, the first few days, I feel like it was like, yay, work from home. And then it went into this, like, very deep, ugly space. And now I'm trying to figure it all out and, like, balance it. And I think the one thing that I've noticed is there's a lot of things that maybe I do once in a while, like have a cocktail or a glass of wine that I've been wanting to do, like, every day. And I know the more I've talked to you guys and every time I've gone live or done a Q&A, I've had so many people kind of sharing the same thing, like overeating, snacking way more than normal, and not really knowing how to stop it because you're in your house all the time with the cabinets right there, the fridge is right there, and all of our normal routines have kind of just gone out the window. So as I found myself wanting to snack on more junk food and overdo it or wanting to have the extra glasses of wine, I realized there's a lot of things that I'm doing to stop myself so that I don't overeat, so I'm not like feeling like garbage and like gaining a bunch of unnecessary weight during this time, because there's way more productive things I could do. And I know that if you're feeling like that too, like you've been overdoing it, these tips are going to be game changers for you so that you can step out of the quarantine feeling strong and confident and not like you just like ate your entire house. So if you're not already subscribed to my channel, hit that red button right now, subscribe, because I have so many more videos like this coming for you guys. And like it, click it, give it a little thumbs up, because that tells YouTube that you like this videos and you want more of them too, so that when I share them, more people get to see them. So for me personally, like my biggest problems are wine and chips. Like those are my kryptonite. If they're in front of me or if I see it, I'm like, that sounds lovely. I'd love a glass of wine tonight. Or if there's a bag of chips open in my eyesight, then I will just snack on them all day long. And those are not the things that I want to be putting in my body every single day. So I realized that the most important thing for me is making sure that what I see when I open those cabinets and open the fridge are healthy options. Because here's the thing. If you are wanting junk snack, junky, like say you want some chips, and you see like a healthy hard-boiled egg or some nuts or a turkey stick, and you're like, no, I want those chips. You're not actually hungry. You just want chips as a craving, right? Because if you're actually just hungry, you know that you can eat something healthy. It's available. It's right there. So it's all about shifting what is in your eyesight so that the first thing you see are those healthier options and you're more likely to grab them, and it's just convenient. So I open my fridge, I open my cabinet, because that is normally how I live. But I feel like over the last couple weeks, I've kind of like creeped the bad snacks to the front and pushed the healthier things away. So I had to do a little rearranging to make it back to the way I want it. So now when I open my cabinet, in my eyesight, first thing I see are things like healthy nuts, so like cashews and macadamia nuts in a jar ready to go. I have some different seeds, and my favorite thing to have like in my pantry all times, staples you'll find at my house and in the office, are turkey sticks. So I love the TEAMLSE turkey sticks because they are the cleanest. There's no sugar added. They have like 9 to 10 grams of protein, and they use free-range turkey, but they also have grass-fed beef and different flavors. I just personally always go for their turkey sticks, but I have them literally in my cabinet here in the car because I normally take them to go, but it's so nice having them at the house because it's just a great source of protein. So when I'm looking for a snack, especially if I'm just kind of grazing for snack, I'm not necessarily like needing something, I always want to go for high protein or high healthy fat snacks like nuts and like these turkey sticks, because those help you feel full longer. And you're fueling your body instead of just like simple carbs that you're gonna be hungry 5 seconds later. And the best part about the TEAMLSE sticks is they deliver right to your door. So if you're like me and you're trying to avoid going to the grocery store at all costs, because that's where we're at, like I literally hate going now, then it's really nice because they can just deliver them straight to your door. They're safe in the pantry, and you guys can get 20% off with my code LSF20. And I'll put a link down below for you guys to TEAMLSE website so you can see all the different flavor options that they have available. Ryan really loves the like Italian one. It's delicious. He said it tastes like a sub. I don't know. All right, so then when I opened my fridge, same thing kind of started happening. I had like the breads and the cheeses and everything right in eyesight. Lovely for like a cheese board, but not for everyday snacking. So I moved like celery sticks, my fruit, hard-boiled eggs, and everything else that I can easily grab that I know is going to be a better choice for me, so that if I am gonna do any mindless snacking, at least I know that they're things that my body is gonna use and it's not gonna just add a bunch of unnecessary empty calories. The other thing I started doing every week, well, for the last week, is meal prepping again. I feel like the first couple weeks of this, I was like, oh, I'm home, I don't need to meal prep, I'll just like whip something together. But then I found myself not having really healthy choices ready to go and not wanting to spend the time to cook something, like for lunch especially, or I was ordering out a lot. So meal prepping is really helping me make sure I'm staying on track and getting all of my healthy fats and proteins and carbs throughout the day, especially those meals that are a little bit tougher in the middle of the day if you're working from home, like a breakfast or a lunch. So I'll meal prep most of those on Sunday. And I also realized that I have more time now at home. So I'm trying to get a little more creative in the kitchen, and that helps too, because if I'm able to be more creative and make the food that I'm eating more interesting, then I'm less likely to be like, I need something, and like just try to find like endless snacks everywhere. So adding a lot of spices, I'm using the Guiltless Nutrition Guide and trying some recipes in there that I haven't made for a long time, even though like they're like my like old staples. So just really trying to mix things up a little bit, but the meal prepping has really, really been a huge help, because then I already have my snacks ready to go. I have my lunches ready to go. So when I do wander over to the fridge, if I'm like looking for something, I know I have my lunch or a like meal 3 snack, and I'll just go for that instead. Also, the getting creative has really helped me when it comes to like a sweet tooth. Okay, here's the thing, you guys. I normally do not have a sweet tooth. I'm not like a give me chocolate all the time kind of person. I'm just not. Like I said, I'd rather eat chips. But something about quarantine, I don't know if it's like a comforting thing, and I'm like emotionally or stress all of a sudden is now translating to like give me sweets, but I've definitely wanted more sweets. So I've really upped my creativity game in that area too, because I don't obviously want to eat a bunch of sugar. So I've been trying to make new recipes. I've been making my hanger bombs a ton, which are awesome because they don't have any sugar, but they somehow kind of taste sweet, and they like taste a little bit like a Reese's peanut butter cup. So I've been making those a lot. I made my grain-free pound cake that has like barely any maple syrup in it, that just adds like a little bit of sweetness. So really taking the time to think outside the box and try new recipes and have those prepped again. So meal prepping and creativity hand in hand has helped a ton, because then when I do want a sweet treat, I can just grab one of my little hanger bombs or a little piece of that pound cake. And so I'm not like restricting myself, but I'm just making better choices. Kind of along my sweet tooth thing that's been happening lately, I've been craving a lot of cereal, and I'm not a big cereal eater. I normally don't really eat tons of cereal because it's usually just like a ton of added sugar or super carby. But one, I've kind of swapped my cereal to a better choice if I'm gonna have it, and two, I've been swapping my bowl and plate sizes. So whether it's about sweets or it's just literally like overeating, if you're eating like too big of even a healthy meal, one of the best things I like to do is put them on smaller plates, because it looks like you have more. So even if I take a 4-ounce piece of chicken breast and all my veggies and all these things, if I were to try to fill it up on a giant plate, like I would fill that whole plate and then I would have so much food and end up overeating. So using a smaller plate allows you to make sure that you're kind of keeping those portions in check and not going overboard. Again, whether it's healthy or not healthy. But for my cereal, I've done 2 things. So I've been getting these little tiny packs. I'll show you. These little guys. You guys have seen the Magic Spoon. But I've been getting these little packs that are smaller, already portioned out, which is nice. And I mean, go back to old school measuring cups. They can totally help too. But if I were to put like a little pack in a normal size cereal bowl, it looks like nothing. Like it looks sad, and like I need to have 3 of them in there. So I've been using these tiny little cups instead, and it makes it look like there's so much more. And it just like, I don't know, it tricks your brain into thinking that you're eating more than you actually are, but it's enough for you, obviously. You don't need 3 of them. So it can be super, super helpful and a great little trick to help trick your mind and keep your body feeling good. Something that I used to do when I was first trying to lose my 45 pounds and really change my lifestyle, it sounds like kind of weird, but you have to like trick yourself sometimes. Like I said, it's very mental. So I would always like play these little games with myself. I was going to say force myself. I didn't like, you can't force yourself, but you kind of force yourself to play these games. So if I was trying to go after a snack that was really unhealthy, like, or just like completely unnecessary, because sometimes even stuff that's like healthy, like popcorn or hip peas or something like that, they're healthier choices. You still don't need them, and they're still going to be added calories into your diet and just like unnecessary. So if I was going to go for something like that, before I would do it, like, of course I would check myself and be like, well, I know those healthy snacks are there. And if I like just said no to those and I'm still going for the unhealthier thing or the extra thing, then I would say, okay, you can have it, but first you have to do 50 squats or the bikini ab ladder from the LSF app or something else, like go for a little run. So I'd find these little like challenges that would make myself be active or do something good for my body before I did something bad. Two things normally happen. One would, by the time that you're done with that workout, you sometimes would be like, yeah, you know what? I just worked really hard, or I just did this challenge. I feel fine having this extra snack. And that's totally okay. That happens sometimes. But the thing that happens more often than not when I do that with myself is after I do the little mini challenge, whatever it is, I don't really want that other thing anymore, because I realize like, well, I just worked my butt off. I just did this extra thing, and now I'm going to basically like cancel it out by putting some junk into my body or just adding more calories that I don't need into my body. And you guys know I'm not a calorie counter. I'm not all about that life. But at the end of the day, like, you can only have so many calories every day that your body will actually use. And if you have more than that, then it's just going to be stored as fat. It's just going to be there and extra, and you don't need it. So that to me has been something that's really, really been helpful, because you can do all these other things, but sometimes you're still like, no, I still really just want it. And you can have it, but like, give yourself a mini challenge, even if it's only a 5-minute quick ab workout or some squats, just something to do some good for your body first. I don't know if it's just because I work out so hard, but I feel like I'm always hungry. Like, I'm like, give me food, I need some snacks. And when it hits hard. So I end up eating my food super, super fast, which I know leads to me eating more than I need to. One thing that I've really, really found to be really helpful is to slow down when I'm eating and actually chew my food and think about what it tastes like and enjoy it. And I know that sounds like a duh, but it's not. Like, I want you, the next time you put some in your mouth, to think about this, because I feel for myself, I just start going and I'm like, this is delicious, and then it's gone. And then I'm still hungry and I end up doing too much. So for me, like, I've literally had times have forced myself to like count to 25 or do the alphabet in my head, like little things that actually force you to slow down, like as I'm chewing. So like, count to 25 with one bite, chew that and swallow it. And it makes a huge difference. Also, taking the time while you chew something to think about the different flavors that you're experiencing and tasting. And I know that sounds like very like, woo, whatever, but it really makes a difference. And it also helps you to enjoy the food even more. But it definitely will help you slow it down and allow you to make sure that you're in tune with your body more. And that's kind of where that intuitive eating starts to come in, when you're able to step back, slow down, and really know, like, am I full? Am I still hungry? Is it just my brain telling me like I want to keep going, or is my body telling me I need more, or is my body telling me like we're good? And oftentimes, if you're portioning your food or you're giving yourself like a normal substantial plate, you probably don't need more, but when you rush through it, it feels like you do. So slow it down, maybe sing a song in your head with each bite, or count to 25, do the alphabet, something like that. Try it next time, and I promise it's gonna make a huge difference. After like years and years of yo-yo dieting, I hate the idea of like restricting yourself, especially from like full food groups, or trying to cut something out completely like cold turkey at once. But obviously there's got to be like a delicate balance of how I also don't overdo it all the time. So instead of like saying like, oh, I'm never gonna have like a cocktail again, or I'm never gonna have a glass of wine, or I'm never gonna eat that cake, like that's unrealistic. But I do have to make better choices and really choose my treats wisely. So I don't plan cheat days, because to me, then my whole focus would be on like, ooh, like I got this big cheat day coming, like crazy. And then the thought to me is that I'm treating my body well all week, and then I like just like go to like garbage at the weekend, and that's just not a healthy, balanced lifestyle. So what I do though is, you know, if I know I have something planned, or like now, like in quarantine, I have nothing planned, but I'm still trying to do those date nights with Ryan. So like, I know on my date night, I'm gonna have a cocktail. I might have like some like extra cheese and crackers or things like that. And knowing that I have that coming up, it just helps me not to be crazy psycho during the week, but to be a little bit more cognizant and thoughtful in the choices that I do make. Because I'm like, oh, I probably don't need a glass of wine tonight because I'm gonna have one on the weekend. So I'm not like restricting myself in some like really aggressive way, but I'm just able to make those better choices and choose better. I also have been, like I said, these are the little hanger bombs. I'm gonna show you guys. I've been making these as my little nighttime treats so that I feel like I'm having something that's a little more indulgent, but it's actually really good for me. It fits into like my day of my normal eating because it's basically just nut butter with like 80% dark chocolate, like the thinnest layer ever on top. So what I don't want you to do while you're in quarantine is feel like you have to go on some crazy diet or like just like throw everything out. Like that's not like the way to live right now. And I know that groceries are kind of hard to come by depending on what you're looking for, but it's all about making the most out of what we have. And I know that if you guys are taking these tips and applying them into your day-to-day life with whatever you have at home, you're going to see a change. You're going to feel better. You're going to be able to stop overdoing it so much, but still feel satisfied, still feel good. And like I said, like things are hard right now. I get it. Like what you're able to get at the grocery store might be different than like your normal stuff. And what you're able to prep and make at home might be different. So that might mean you have more time to do more, get more creative, prep your meals, or maybe you have all the kids at home right now and things just feel like really, really crazy. So it's all about making the most of your situation, doing the best you can do. Your best might look different than my best, and your best might look different in 2 weeks than it looks like right now. But I know that if you guys take these tips and apply them into your day as best as you can with what you're given, you're gonna start to see a ton of change, and it's really gonna help you reduce that overdoing it, and that will make you feel better overall. And one last thing that totally helps me and makes like everything better all the time and helps distract me and get me back on track if I'm ever feeling like I'm off is searching the hashtag TEAMLSF. Because when I come and look at all your girls' posts and I'm seeing you crushing it, I'm seeing the meals that you're making, I'm hearing your stories about good days and bad days, it really helps me realize like we're all human and we're all in this together, and like we have our highs and lows, but being able to come together and have tips like this to kind of fall back on when we do find ourselves getting off track is so incredible. I hope you guys find these really, really helpful. Comment down below and let me know like which one of these tips, if not all of them, you're gonna try first. And then come back and tell me how it goes, because I do wanna make sure that they are helpful for you guys. If you're not subscribed, again, hit that red button right now. If you like this video, thumbs up, give it a little click, just so I know you guys want more like this, especially over these next couple weeks as we're navigating this quarantine world together. And come say hi on Instagram at Love Sweat Fitness. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I'll see you back here next week. Bye.